What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Sports Psych Saturday here at Human Integrated Performance. My name is Tyson, and today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about tryouts. I know we talked about tryouts last week, but we're looking at it and how to be successful in tryouts. What we're going to be doing this week, however, is looking at what happens in a case of an unsuccessful tryout. So basically what we're saying is we got cut, or in sports psych terms, we got deselected. But most people know the feeling of being cut as trying really hard for the team and for whatever reason didn't make it. So with today's episode, we're going to be really focused on taking the time to process the information that we've been given, using the feedback that the coaches have given us, and then trying to change our mindset around that tryout and trying to turn that negative impact that getting cut from the team has had and turning that into a more positive one by reframing our mindset. But to start us off, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about what we should do immediately after we get cut. So immediately after we get cut, whether it be a sit-down interview with the coach or whether it was just we were told via a list on a door, we want to take time to process what has happened. We're not going to fully understand what's going to be happening and the reasons why we got cut right away, but we do want to do is take about 24 to 48 hours to really try and sit with our emotions, relax a little bit before trying to understand and coming to terms with exactly what has happened to us. By taking that 24 to 48 hours, it allows us to process the information, get a clear head, because when immediately after we're getting cut, we're most likely in not a clear headspace. We're going to be angry, we're going to be frustrated, and that's not going to be able to process information very well. By taking the time to gain some clarity in our mind, we're going to be able to think clearly and then have a better understanding of why we didn't make that team. And on top of that, we're going to be, after we've taken that time, we want to be looking at what feedback was given to us throughout the tryout process. So if you're a hockey player and you have a coach who does exit interviews after the tryout, you can sit down and take what they've given you as information and the feedback that they have said to you and kind of give that a look over. And if there is, for whatever reason, you're not fully understanding why, you can definitely reach out to that coach and ask for greater feedback as to why you didn't make that team. I know for myself, there's been numerous times in my sporting career where I haven't made the team that I've wanted to. And a lot of the time when I ask the coaches for feedback, they actually do give some very constructive things about what we can improve on. For myself, I was a goaltender in hockey. A lot of the things that they gave me in terms of was more technical stuff that I could improve on, or more schematic things that I just didn't fit in with the system. And I was able to take that and learn from it and then examine and work with that a little bit more. So when I came into my next opportunity with my next team, I was able to implement that and make myself the best goaltender that I could be. And the other thing too is we want to make sure we're using that feedback to improve. Because sometimes we may not agree with it, but there are going to be other times where there is going to be a little bit of feedback that we can take and it will be positive for us as well. The next thing that we're going to talk about is using all the tryouts, not just the deselection process, all the tryouts as a whole as a learning experience and a way to motivate us for the future. I know for a lot of people, deselection can be the most negative thing that happens in their sporting career, but we want to try and change our mindset around that process. So we want to look at it as an opportunity for growth and a way to motivate ourselves for the future. I know a lot of athletes who haven't made the top team. You look at athletes and you hear stories about guys like Michael Jordan, who's arguably one of the greatest basketball players of all time, getting cut from their high school basketball team. Well, he was at a crossroads there. He could either get upset and give up on his dreams right there, or he could use that deselection as a motivator for his future. And as we all talk about, we want to use that as some motivation to gain a little bit further in our career. So everything that we're saying, we really want to use it and take it in and move forward in our future. And the last piece that we're going to talk about here today is changing the way we're thinking about the cut or the deselection. So when we're cut, we oftentimes will feel like the end of the world. I'm here to tell you that it's not. There's always going to be something better that happens, because we want to take that no, that hey, I'm not ready for you on my team. I don't want you on my team. We want to take that no and turn it into looking at as a next opportunity. So it's not no, you're not going to continue playing. It's what opportunity is opening itself afterwards now that we are no longer going to be on that team. So if you're trying for a AAA team and you don't make it onto that team, well, maybe you want to reframe the way you look at it and say, oh, maybe I wasn't ready for AAA. However, I can be the best player at AA. So I want to go through and be, when I'm in that AA setting, I want to be the go-to guy instead of being like a third, fourth line player on a AAA team. So changing the way you look at the deselection is going to be a huge part of getting over it. So this isn't going to say that we should be happy with deselection. That's not what we're saying. What we are saying is we really want you to look at it and try and change the way you think about it, and then use that moment as a chance to redefine yourself and really push forwards towards your future. So with that being said, that's all the time we have for today. As always, remember to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you all next week.